What is up, everybody? Um, I figure Fridays I typically make a video and put them out there. Um, I'm gonna have to just apologize up front. I've had almost no sleep. Um, my wife was up very late, which meant that I was up very late. Um, so I've been doing a lot of work on the deployment side of Crafty. I've done a little bit of code in Commander or Crafty 4.0, but not a whole lot. Mainly, it's just been little bug fixes here and there, some refactoring to make things a little more scalable down the road. Um, I've got some brilliant ideas that I had, uh, so I need to, you know, toe the line and not just do what's easiest. I need to rethink everything. So one of the things I've done is I've made it so that like the jar downloads is now a specialized function just for jars, because in the future I can see us installing different types of servers that maybe are not jars. Um, so that's something that we're looking into. Kev the Goat is building our own version of serverjars.com so that we have uh, mirrors and stuff that we can pull from. And we're just basically doing some infrastructure building right now, things to help facilitate installs of Crafty and make sure that, in today's world of Cloudflare downs, going down and random hacks and stuff like this, um, and other people's servers being used, I would rather just have everything on my own so that I'm not relying on anyone else, which means that if serverjars.com goes down like they did 2 weeks ago, they were down for a week. So like technically, if we had been using 4.0, that would have been a week of you having to manually download servers instead of just clicking a few easy buttons and moving forward. So to help with that, we're building our own mirror setup so that we'll have all the big names, Spigot, Bucket, Waterfall, Paper, all that stuff. Bedrock, of course. Um, but I've been playing a lot with Docker, which I do for my job anyway, but I've been doing more and more of it, especially now that I'm trying to do things in a better way as far as how to get Crafty to you guys to where it's easy to install. The Windows portable builds I've automated now. I've automated the Linux builds as well. And what this will do is it will actually compile uh, Crafty and Python. You won't even need to have Python on your machine. Uh, it don't need to worry about any of the dependencies, none of the modules, no more WTF errors, none of that. Just download the zip, run the installer, and it works. Um, Regardless of what distribution you're on. So that's something I'm working on. And again, I have sinus problems. So I had to build a Jenkins. So I have a Jenkins set up. I have a Docker cluster. I have been building a lot of infrastructure here lately. Um, so these are some of the jobs that we have, like the build environment and for PyInstaller for both Linux and Windows. And of course, you have to have a Discord bot to tell everyone that there's a new update. And then of course the actual thing that does the builds. So like this is actually the Windows 32 build, and this is the Linux one. You can see that it had some horrible some horrible days. These are much easier. These are all sunny and ready to go. These are multi-step pipelines that are a little more complicated. The Linux one, ironically, is harder just because of the configurations that I've done. So like if you go in here and you look, you can kind of see uh, that was a terrible button. Let's not do that. Yeah, that's a horrible thing as well. Let's uh, let's go to Blue Ocean because that makes things a little easier for everyone to see. So if we go to Jenkins here, we'll see that um, all of these guys have been running green and they're all good. This one doesn't necessarily have a branch per se. It does, but it's a little more complicated of what it does. It actually builds the full Docker image. So it builds a Docker image, installs Wine, sets up some Windows dependencies, and then compiles Crafty for Windows. The Linux one is significantly easier. Of course, I've had some errors in the past, but so cloning the Git, it'll actually the Git repository, it'll build the image, it'll run the Crafty, build it, do the Discord bot, and do all that stuff. So this is an oversimplified view. Obviously, there's some more things. Like if you wanted to see what happened during this phase, you could see what happened, and it's a lot of things happened. So this is where we're zipping things up and uploading to the server and doing all kinds of cool stuff. So I've been working very hard on the automation side so that things just happen. That way no one's having to wait on me. And also staff are going to be able to get in here and manually run pipelines as needed, should they be developing on it and whatnot. So everything's going to be going to Crafty Control /builds /3.2. So this is where your daily builds of Linux would be. These are only stable. Eventually I'll do beta once we get in the 4.0 territory. But right now it's just the stable. And there's the the latest, so you can always just grab the latest and it'll be correct. If you want to go back to a certain version, you can. I'm doing this so that it's easier for people to automate, because you can just automatically download the latest and you're good. One of the other things I've done to help with automation is the installers are being completely rebuilt. So there's some other shell scripts that will be included. So like an unattended script that will just do things. You simply run it as root and it's done. It's installed, the service is set up, everything's ready to go. And that's cool. Of course, you'll have to actually run the service or run Crafty itself and then run it as a service. And I'm going to work on that, I think, at some point. Or I may just leave it alone and concentrate on 4.0. Then the guided one is a little more robust of a file. It has, it does a lot of checks and balances and gets user input and stuff. So I'm going to show you guys how this works in a real world. So we have VMware. This is my Ubuntu machine. There is nothing here. I apparently don't have that in my... Yeah, I'm going to have to type that out. That sucks. craftycontrol.com/builds/3.2/crafty-linux-stable latest.zip. And yay, I actually typed it correct for once. So now we have the zip file. We're going to unzip this into Crafty install. So that does its thing. So Crafty installer. So here we have the unattended and the guided. So we'll try the guided. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to be dead honest. I'm still testing, but we figure why not? We'll give it a shot. So it's doing things. Delete files there. Sure, why not? Deleting all copies of Crafty. And yes, we have breakages. Things broke. No such file directory for Crafty. Interesting. Well, that would be because it didn't make the directory. Because I deleted it. I bet you. Yep. Do that again. Now we get this. God, you can't change to this press. I told you guys I haven't slept. Go there. There. I can type. Stop looking at me typing. There we go. Now it works. Yeah, I gotta fix that. So anyway, let's close this out and walk away in shame. Um, let's just close out. No, power it off, and then we'll restore the backup. Restore snapshot. Revert to the clean snapshot. Yes. So obviously I have some more work to do. Um, that was a spectacular failure. I'm good at those. Um, but as you can see, I am working on some automation stuff. Some of the other things I'm kind of having to wait. There is some cool business side stuff that I'm trying to do for Crafty. I am creating a company to own Crafty. So as soon as that gets approved by the wonderful powers that be for the government here in the states, as soon as the IRS gives me the okay on the corporation and gives me an ID number as an entity, then like a social security number kind of thing. So once I become a company, then Crafty will go underneath that company. And the reason that I'm doing this is because, well, to be frank, Crafty isn't just me anymore. It's a community thing now. So, um, we're going to be working towards. We're going to have a board of people who will help guide Crafty because we're going to be branching out into some other things here soon. We're going to be doing other things. I'm not normally that person who sets out as a mission when he builds something to say I'm going to beat these guys, but I really want to. I want to be on the same level as Amp and Pterodactyl, the dinosaur that everyone says there's lots of problems with. I have some ideas, especially since I've been playing more with Docker. Python, you can actually control Dockers. So with that, I might be able to actually have Crafty spin up Docker images for you. Maybe we actually build some Docker images. I mean, we already have one, but maybe we make it so that it's pullable. You can just pull it and run a server, and then you can run multiple servers. Maybe that's an option. Not everyone wants to have Docker, so I won't make that a requirement, which is why I am coding the way I am. Um, but this way, you'll be able to pick and choose what you want, right? So um, we'll have it that way, so it helps, you know, help with more deployment scenarios. One of the things I'm definitely focusing on is trying to make things to where people who run Crafty for a business have better support. It's not really designed for that right now. Um, so, the ability to make it so that a user can only have two Minecraft servers, for instance, and they can only see those two Minecraft. That way they can't build any more, right? Maybe they can only build two because that's part of their hosting package. Um, and this is not a Patreon only video, so there's some things that I'm not going to discuss that is Patreon only. Um, but yeah, so we're about 13 minutes. This has been a pretty quick update of nothing but cascading failure. But hey, at least I'm not doing a gender reveal and setting half my country on fire. So I guess I got that going for me. Um, anyway, that's it for me. And I will see you guys next time I do another video. Maybe next week. We'll see. Thanks. Bye.